The process of testing UDBapp Pro is simple. You'll just need to follow these initial instructions to do so. Launch the App Store from your respective iOS device. Then you're going to tap on Search, and you're going to do a search for an application called TestFlight. Once you've found TestFlight, you're going to click on this to download. The download is rather quick. And then you're going to open the link that was sent to you in your UDBapp Pro beta testing email. Once you've clicked that link, you're going to be prompted with an option to get notifications. And you can hit allow or don't allow, whichever you prefer. And then you're going to be prompted with the opportunity to install the very first version of UDBapp Pro. So you'll click install. And once you're done there, you're ready to begin the next step in the process. To download UDBapp Pro Beta for Android, click the link on the Ultimate Drillbook Beta website under Android Installation Instructions. On the next page, sign into your Google account submitted in the UDBapp Pro Beta User Information Form. If you did not submit an email that is a Google account, you may resubmit that form by tapping the link at the bottom of the Android instructions. Once we receive that form, you will be added to the beta testing group and be able to download the beta. Once you sign in, scroll down and tap on Download It on Google Play. Tap Install and then Open. Once you've downloaded the app, you're going to open it and you'll see a screen that you're familiar with. At the bottom, you're going to click on Don't Have an Account, Sign Up. And here, if you're a director, you're going to enter in your ensemble code and your director password after checking the box that says I'm a director. Here's where you'll create an account for yourself. You may use your previously used email address. That's not going to present any issues. So go ahead and create the account for yourself now. Once you've created your account, you'll see a screen that looks somewhat familiar, but with the addition of 2 additional buttons. You'll now see Ultimate Drillbook, Attendance, Calendar, and Management. So the next step in this process is going to be for us to connect Calendar to a Google account, either one that you have previously created or one that you can create for this purpose. So you'll want to make sure that you're connecting this to some kind of public calendar, one that's being used by your ensemble already, or one that you're going to create specifically for this purpose. So the next step is clicking on Calendar, and then it's going to invite you to sign into Google. So once again, this is where you're going to use the Google credentials that you would normally use for like a Gmail account. But of course, this is going to connect to the Google Calendar account. So you'll click on Sign into Google. You'll hit Continue. And then it's going to ask you for your credentials in this next screen. So you'll enter those now. The next thing you're going to see is a dialog box that's asking for the app to have permission to see things related to Google Calendar. You will need to hit allow for that to successfully connect, and then it's going to ask you to confirm your choices. You'll leave those checked, and then you'll hit allow once more. Once you're in, the next thing it's going to ask you to do is it's going to show you a listing of the calendars that are associated with that account. So you'll check the calendar that you'd like, and then you'll hit Continue. Once you've done that, you have successfully linked your Google Calendar to UDBapp Pro. So inside Calendar, what we're going to do is we're going to hit the plus button in the top right corner. And much like an interface that you're used to seeing in something like iCal or Google Calendar or Outlook, you'll be able to create an event. You'll choose a location. You'll specify the time You'll specify if it's a recurring event, and you'll choose who is invited to that event. So let's create our first event. Because every event needs to have a location so that attendees can check in, what you'll do is you'll specify that specific location using GPS. You can either type in an address here, or you can find it on your map, and it uses both your GPS and Google Maps to specify. So we're going to find a location here. And we're going to say that attendees need to be within this specific geofence to check into rehearsal. You can broaden the fence or make it smaller, however you choose to specify where exactly people need to be to check in within those parameters. If you're going to use this location frequently, you can specify so by tapping on the star, and that memorizes it as a favorite. Then we'll hit done. We'll choose the time. We'll say today, starts today at 4, ends at 5:30. And we're going to say this repeats every week. In the right corner, top right corner, you'll see which calendar you're connected to. And then most importantly, you'll choose the invitees. So on the left, you'll see the roles and the sections specified. So if you wanted to tap on a single role, it'll choose all of those who are that particular role within your ensemble. If you wanted to choose people just individually, you may do so there. It'll show you how many people you have selected. You could certainly search at the top if you have a lot of individuals. Then you'll hit done. We'll hit done one more time. And then it'll prompt you and let you know that the event has been created successfully. Once you've created an event, you'll see it here on the right side of the screen. And you can scroll on either side of the screen to see all of the events that you've created. If you need to go and edit an event, you can tap on it, click on edit, and then change any of the parameters for that event. Now, please note, any event that you've created can only be edited if it's still in the future. The reason that is because any events in the past are tied to some kind of attendance record, and we want to make sure that that attendance record stays accurate. So I'll make sure that this change shows up. I'll go to today and see, okay, we still have our woodwind sectionals from 4 to 5:30. And then if I want to see the attendance record, I can go back to my home screen, go to attendance, and I'll see all of the events that have happened from today backwards. So any events that are going to happen in the future do not show up here. So we can tap on woodwind sectionals and we can see everyone who was assigned to that event or invited to that event, and you'll see in real time whether they're absent, tardy, or present based on the parameters that you set up. If you wanted to manually change somebody's attendance record, you can tap on this to update, and that updates on both your end as well as theirs. You can group by section, and if you wanted to export that attendance record, in the top right corner of this little clipboard icon, you can tap on that and you can see everyone's full attendance record. So you can see TJG admin has been absent once, tardy 0 times, present 0 times. You can use any of these search parameters to refine this, and then if you'd like to export this at any point, in the top right corner, you can export this, and you can export it to something like notes. You can export it to an email, to Google Sheets, to Excel, and then that information can be manipulated and used in any way that would be helpful to you. Once an event has been created and it's time for students to view that event and then check in, they can click on Calendar and they will see only the events that they have been invited to. They can click on any of the events here. They can click on the location to show where they are in relation to where they need to check in. And when it's time for them to check in, they just go to their home screen, go to attendance. They will not see their attendance record yet until they actually check in, which they'll do by tapping on the icon in the top right-hand corner. And it's going to use the time and location of their device to ask if they're here to check in at a specific event. They'll choose that event. It will show that they have checked in. It gives them the option to uncheck in should they need to, and then they can hit done. At this point, it shows via a timestamp that they were present, tardy, or absent for that particular event, which then updates immediately on the director's device. At any point, each student can see their full attendance record by selecting present, tardy, or absent to see which events they have been present, tardy, or absent to. If someone is outside of the geofence that you have set up for a particular event, they will see their location in relation to that, and when they attempt to check in by going to attendance, clicking the icon, choosing the event, UDBapp Pro will tell them that they are not allowed to check in because they are not within those parameters.